His Excellency Ban Ki-moon.
Honorable Senator Laurent-Legarde, thank you. Thank you for your very kind introduction before I speak. It's a great honor for me to meet you again after your hospitality last year at your residence, as you said. My wife and I are deeply honored to be recognized by such a distinguished senator of the Philippines to such a high praise. I'm not sure whether I deserve that kind of recognition. Again, thank you very much, thank you. And I'd like to thank, who spoke first, Ambassador Jose Cuisia Jr., Chair of the Advisory Board, AIM, Center on Enterprise for Society. Again, he has taken much of my time, in fact, and much of the agenda. This text may take you, I hope, keep you alive, keep you awake, at least a half an hour. So please bear with me, be patient. I try to keep you wake up from time to time, but in any way, this is rare to speak such a long time before such learned members of audience. It's a great honor for me. I have been speaking hundreds of times during my life as a Secretary General, and even after my retirement, I am now completing almost 9 years as a private citizen. But during 9 years, I have been invited here and there, and it's a great honor for me to discuss with you about the future of our humanity, future of our planet Earth, and our women, as well as rising generation, youth generation. So those are 4 areas which I have devoted my time and energy while in office and even out of my office. First, Sustainable Development Goals with the 17 goals. This is by far the most important vision the United Nations has presented to the people of the world. My predecessor, Kofi Annan, he presented on the occasion of celebrating year 2000. The United Nations was in a very hurry. What kind of message should we deliver to the people of the world? Better hope. Celebrating 2 millennia, 2000. That is Millennium Development Goals. That was hurriedly made. Then when I took on my job, I thought that we should have a much better, far-reaching vision for the people and the planet Earth. I invited experts, political leaders, civil society leaders, many group of people. I at least changed 3 different groups, led by head of state of developing countries, head of state of developed countries. Those 2 leaders had worked as president, co-president, and I invited diplomat, business leaders, civil society leaders, women leaders, youth leaders. So 3 times of that repetition, that's the result of Sustainable Development Goals. climate change, it took almost all my time, full 9 years from start of my job until the world leaders joined their hands on the deck together, almost second time. SDG, the time when adopted SDG, that was the moment when the whole world was united. Second time, that also happened December 12, 2015. Those two important, far-reaching visions were taken on during the year of 2015. So 2015 should be remembered as one of the most important years among human lives. These are some of my preview. So I'm going to read while making you awake, but feel free. You know everything. So there is nothing new, in fact, because I have been repeating all the times. I was told by psychologists, if you really want to make something understood by the people of the world, you repeat, even though they like or they don't like it, so repeat it. So I'm going to repeat what I have been speaking today. There is nothing new, in fact. Okay, thank you very much. Before I begin, I would like to recognize some people, in addition to two distinguished guests. I'd like to recognize, of course, Dr. Ji Kyung-kang, President of Dean of AIM, Asian Institute of Management. Thank you for your invitation. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you. And I'd like to also recognize, I cannot go without recognizing her. You know her very well. Honorable Ambassador and Foreign Minister, Delia Albert of the Philippines. Luckily for me, it was a great luck for me. We worked together at the same time, same period, both as representing Philippines and representing Korea as a foreign minister. I think she must have given me a good luck later to become a Secretary General of the United Nations. And I also asked to introduce my dear colleague, Ambassador Lee Sang-hwa. I think Filipinos are lucky to have such a very able, hardworking ambassador. There are many ambassadors, of course, in any country, but he is one of the hardest working with good ideas. So if you have anything, please use him. If you really want to promote the better and relationship between the Philippines and my country, Korea. And thank you very much, Ambassador Lee. There are so many distinguished guests. Please bear with me that I cannot repeat all the introduction of you. Thank you for all your participation today. Today, I think, as I said, also, everything which I'm going to say is something you have heard so many times, but I'm going to repeat. Bear with me. If you feel, please go early or sleep. That's fine for me. Before I begin, my gratitude goes to AFES 2025, bringing together so many dynamic global practitioners, thinkers, business leaders, and community leaders under the guiding theme, Navigating Disruption, Enterprise Priorities for a Resilient Future. And I'm particularly honored to have an opportunity to address leaders like yourselves, discussing all the common and major ideas which we have to carry out. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we stand on the precipice of a period of pronounced change, one that will have profound implications for the enterprises, the future of humanity, and our planet Earth, the only planet Earth we have discovered until now. There may be many planets. There may be somewhere we can move on, but at least now, this is the only planet we have. So we have to take care of our planet Earth. That's what we have to do with the climate change. Now, more than ever, we need global solutions underpinned by cooperation, solidarity, and elevated leadership to empower all global citizens to come together in partnership and help ensure a sustainable and peaceful future for all. I am going to repeat many times global citizenship with a global vision. You are proud of being Filipinos, Koreans, or whichever nationalities you carry. But what is important, we are global citizens. Then we have to have a global vision based on global citizen. I was one of the very lucky Koreans. Among so many Koreans, 40 million Koreans, now 50 million, I was one of the very few people who was able to meet President John F. Kennedy while he was president. I was a high school boy. I was invited by American Red Cross in 1962. I was just an 18-year-old boy. There were four students, 2 boys, 2 girls. I think, except the late President Park Chung-hee, I think we are the second to meet because he was assassinated soon. So at that time, President John F. Kennedy told us there are no national boundaries in this world. That was not true. There were so many national boundaries, communist, democratic countries, and there were a lot of boundaries among countries. He said there are no national boundaries in this world. As you are young, the question is whether you are ready to extend your helping hand to other people. That was striking. Even though I was a young boy, it was striking. I thought, I want to become a diplomat, and I want to do something for my very poor, war-torn country. With the brave help of Filipino soldiers, we were able to be saved. So we are very much grateful. So from young age, I had some idea. What is a global citizens? Global citizenship. That has been my repeated message to young generation. Be a global citizen with passion and compassion. Most of people have passion, but it's very hard to find people to have compassion. So when both passion and compassion are united, then you are a true global citizen. So this is my message to you. Now, more than ever, we need global solutions for global problems, underpinned by cooperation, solidarity, and elevated leadership to empower all global citizens to come together in partnership and peaceful future for all. Ladies and gentlemen, actually, we are living in an unprecedented era of new interconnected crises and elevated global disruptions here and there. Great power rivalries is intensifying, particularly between the United States and China. And the illegal Russian war or aggression against Ukraine, alongside the horrific war in Gaza, represents one of the most dangerous moments for humanity and for this world. Pandemic risk is still here with us, but less of a crisis after COVID-19 caused extraordinary disruption to our health and economies, societies, and way of life starting in early 2020. At the same time, this may be it's not exaggeration. Our planet is on fire. Our planet is on fire. Literally, figuratively. As the climate crisis is deepening with the surging temperatures, rising sea levels, burning wildfires, and raging floods. Indeed, 2024 was again the Earth's hottest year on record. You must have read in the newspaper that our very close friend country, Indonesia, Jakarta is now going down. The sea level is rising. They are very serious that Jakarta may never be able to exist as capital of Indonesia. They decide to move the capital city of Jakarta to Nusantara. It's a fact. They are working very hard. It was reported in Korean news. By 2045, there will be a new capital city of Indonesia, Nusantara. And small island city in South Pacific, Kiribati. I don't know whether some of you has been to Kiribati. Kiribati, the island itself is sinking. I visit myself. I have seen for myself as a Secretary General. They bought a land in Fiji because the country should move. Otherwise, it will be under the sea, under the water. The scientists say by the end of this century, 2300, the sea level may rise from 60 centimeters to 1.5 meters. 1.5 meters, depending upon where you live. This is a real fact. Now, this is a real fact. Indeed, 2024, we have experienced the hottest year on record. The President of the United States, President Trump's withdrawal in this regard from the Paris Climate Change Agreement is deeply, deeply sorry and regrettable. And I am very much, as a former Secretary General who really worked day and night to have Paris Climate Change Agreement. The United States, the second largest greenhouse gas emitting country, second largest only next to China, they are out of this process. This is very irresponsible. The United States, climate change does not save United States. Oh, here is the country where President Trump is living. They will not care. It cares, it attacks all the countries, all the people around the world. So we must work together. Yet also inspire the cities, states, citizens worldwide to take action themselves, proving that the fight against the climate change does not depend on one leader, but on the collective will of humanity. The COP30, which is now taking place in Belém, Brazil, today, is open today. COP30 offers a chance to mobilize a collective will and hope to push for real change rather than only ambitious language. There are many languages, many good promises made by the world leaders, but they have not been keeping their promises. The Amazon footprint makes this COP a moment for forest climate justice, which should be undeniably applied to the Philippines. The low-carbon transition will include forests, biofuels, renewable energy, and nature-based solutions, offering global enterprises new opportunities. In just a few short years, very near, artificial intelligence has evolved from a research concept into a powerful force now. It's no longer research, it's really acting now. It reshapes every corner of enterprise. It has now become a technology enabled of reasoning, creating, and collaborating with humans in real time. Enterprises are beginning to integrate AI into using data to predict customer needs, personalize experiences, and make decisions faster than ever before. AI-driven analysis now guide strategy in manufacturing, healthcare, finance, enabling firms to be both efficient and resilient in uncertain times. As we look ahead, the next decade of enterprise will be defined by how well we balance capability with responsibility. AI is expected to bring immense opportunity for implementing sustainable development goals, but also poses profound challenges like bias, privacy, job displacement, and the need for new forms of digital governance and ethics. The companies that thrive will be those that treat AI not merely as a cost-saving tool, but as a strategic partner aligned with ethical principles and human values. To lead in this era, business leaders must embrace a new mindset, one that combines technological literacy with the moral imagination. The future enterprise is not only data-driven, it is human-centered, built on trust and transparency and inclusiveness. In short, AI is not replacing us. It is redefining what it means to be productive, creative, and intelligent. The question is no longer whether enterprises will use AI, but how wisely and responsibly they will do so by exercising courage to overcome the risk. They have also made it clear that we need global solutions to global crises, such as regional conflict, pandemics, climate change, which have underscored our interconnectedness. And such solutions must be rooted in partnership and inclusivity, and centered on enhancing health, security, sustainability, and prosperity for all the people, everywhere, from cities to village, from upper-income countries to the least developed, from communities plagued by war to those at peace. Humanity is facing cascading, intertwined, and complex challenges that are impacting all people around the world. Under this backdrop of conflict, planetary crisis, and health threat, we have also made progress in key areas, and I'm confident that we can change the world for the better for all the people around the world if we are united and if we share technologies and fundings. But to do so, we must come together in greater solidarity and urgency. We must find our common humanity. There is no difference between where you live, whether you live in the United States, Europe, or Asia, Africa. Today, again, I'm asking you to think about how we can advance in this era of increased global uncertainty and insecurity. We can achieve this through smart policies and action, the power of cooperation and partnership, building sustainability and peace in our communities. I think partnership is very important. Partnership. Nobody can do alone in this world. No country can do it alone. Like the United States or European countries, they cannot do it alone. We have to really join all our hands together. That's a hard lesson which I have learned while serving the United Nations. But each and everyone also must all play their part, our part, especially enterprises, business leaders. There may be many business leaders here, and corporate responsibility leadership forums such as AFES. Today, therefore, I will first speak now to you about the UN SDGs, and second, I really highlight the vital role of enterprises, business leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, we have taken big leaps forward here and there in the field of global development in recent decades. The global community, guided by UN MDG, I think I explained much about MDGs, but this has been replaced by SDGs. Therefore, it's very important that we try to our best to implement all 17 goals, which are contained in SDGs. Now, since 1990, 2.1 billion people have benefited from access to improved sanitation, and over 2.6 billion people now have improved source of water. But there is still so much work to be done. For example, 6 to 7% of world's workers and their families are living on less than $2.15 a day. $2.15 a day. This is a hard reality. We see so many people. More than 6 million children die without any reason because they don't have any medicines, medical treatment. And last year, 2.2 billion people around the world still lacked access to clean and safe drinking water. This figure will surely worsen as a result of climate change, accelerated drought, and water scarcity. During my time as a Secretary General, I am proud to have brought all the leaders of the world together, whether you are from developed or developing countries. It's rare to see, particularly during the one year 2015, all the leaders, both East and West, North and South, they become one. That's really a moment which we were proud of, we were one together. That's what I'm saying, that Sustainable Development Goals are with us, in our hands. SDGs represent a transformational moment in global governance. This was a sea change from previous development, what we did, like Millennium Development Goals. Leading up to the realization of Sustainable Development Goals, many consultations with the diverse partners and stakeholders occurred. I will not repeat how much time I have devoted to bring political leaders, business leaders, civil society leaders sit down together, discuss this matter. I have brought them some questions. After 3 months or 4 months of their work, then I have passed this result of their discussion to another group. After 4 months, another group. At least I repeated 3 times, 3 rounds of this. It took longer than a year to get the ideas, of common ideas, which agreed upon ideas. This is what we have in our hands, Sustainable Development Goals. We have in our hand Paris Climate Change Agreement. Paris Climate Change Agreement was much, much harder to reach. This has a very strange way of decision-making process. In your parliament, maybe just a half of your parliamentarians can make more than half member, you can pass resolution. Constitutional amendment, you can have 2/3 majority. Paris Climate Change Agreement is 100% unanimity. Not a single country, just one single country can kill this Paris Climate Change Agreement. It might happen in Paris at the last moment. One small country quietly said to me, we are not going to support. That was a crisis. It's not much known. I just wanted to break his neck at the moment. Because how many years have we worked together? The one small country just whispered. That was true story. This is a true story. We wanted to talk to Pope because that country is a Catholic country. The Pope, he was not responding telephone. Then we had to negotiate. Just not many people knew. Like while some serious talks were going on, many people were expecting when the president is going to bang, adopting Paris Climate Change Agreement. Then in any way, I was able to convince this representative with a certain promise that I will do, or something like this. I will not disclose it. In any way, that's a result of Paris Climate Change Agreement. Therefore, now we must be really carrying this implementation of Paris Climate Change Agreement. However, this year's report 2025, calls for action in 6 priority areas. 6 priority areas: food system, energy, digital transformation, education, jobs and social protection, and climate and biodiversity. These are six very important issues which we must keep moving forward. Together, transformational SDG can still bring us together. So we must regroup, rejuvenate, and forge ahead under the spirit of cooperation, partnership, and solidarity. This is how Asia and Philippines, including Philippines and the world, can leave no one behind. In this regard, I'm proud that my foundation, Ban Ki-moon Foundation for a Better Future, the APAC, Asia Pacific Research Center of Stanford University, initiated TPSD. Yesterday we had a meeting, TPSD, Trans-Pacific Sustainable Dialogue, in 2022 in Seoul, to promote the spirit of action to implement SDGs and climate change agreement in Asia-Pacific countries. Yesterday, 4th TPSD was held here in Manila. I'm very proud. And today, the Asian Center of University of the Philippines, Diliman, is graciously hosting sessions with the participation of university students and professors. Now, redoubling our common efforts, wherever country you are coming from, a key enabling goals like Sustainable Development Goal number 3 and well-being. This is about well-being. SDG 4 on quality education and SDG 5 on gender equality. I think these are some very important ones. I'm from Korea, very poor at that time, but they were very sincere to have a quality education. I think normally, I sometimes say that I'm a product of quality education. UNESCO helped a lot. Finally, this SDG 17, this is about the partnership. Now, this SDG 17 calls for multi-stakeholder partnership that mobilize and share knowledge, expertise, technology, and financial resources to support the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. And I firmly believe that refocusing our efforts on SDG 5, this is women's empowerment, and including youth empowerment, without using fully the potential and capabilities and commitment of women. I think women are more than men in terms of statistics. Then we will never be able to achieve Sustainable Development Goals and Paris Climate Change Agreement. That's why I'm proud to tell you that during my time, I was able to establish UN Women. This is a proper, like a Ministry of Women in a government. This is a world ministry, UN Women. So there are many highly educated, highly passionate, and compassionate women leaders. They are waiting to be served. So this, I hope this will be a moment where we work again for gender equality. From the struggles of women in devastating conflicts such as war, I think, to those being systematically discriminated against in influence societies at peace. The bottom line is that women's rights are absolutely central to 3 defining pillars of the United Nations: peace and security, sustainable development, and lastly, human rights. These are 3 very important areas which we can promote with the women's empowerment. But if we hold back half of the world's population, they are women, it's simply impossible. We cannot achieve a sustainable world as we have been promoting. And business leaders who must be here, I think you can play a very important role. In this regard, Board of Trustees of AIM should be commended for appointing Dr. Kang Ji-kyung as the President and Dean for the 3rd term, beginning 2015. Thank you very much for your support. Again, empowering women is essential. Again, I'm emphasizing achieving the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. Indeed, to construct a sustainable future for all, we must synergize the skills, knowledge, partnership, leadership of all women. So we must use all these women's capabilities. More than ever, we need elevated solidarity between all stakeholders and leaders, men and women, business leaders and civil society. Those are tripartite partnership. Government, business leaders, and women's. Particularly, this includes enterprise and the private sector, which is needed to play a more important role than originally envisaged. In this connection, I highly applaud AFES for strongly championing the UN Global Goals and Global Compact. The UN Global Compact has helped redefine the underlying relationship between business and society by ensuring that business is done with sustainability and responsibility. This business compact aligns companies in the UN member state improve labor environment, and also addressing all these corruption issues. This is invaluable to ensure that respect for human rights and the UN Global Compact are pursued in tandem with the robust business leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, I will continue to be so appreciative of the business community and forums like AFES 2025 for their effort. We need to ensure that UN's global goals are local business, local goals. Whatever has been agreed at the United Nations should be implemented at the local level. Otherwise, UN goals will not be implemented. So I urge everyone now, world leaders and policymakers, but also civil society leaders, young people, especially business leaders like you, to pursue this long-term vision of global citizenship, which I have emphasized. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, everyone has a moral responsibility to act everywhere. But enterprise leaders and practitioners like you are uniquely positioned to help prosperity, advance development, and lead our future to new highlights. With just 5 years to go, the implementation of SDG's final goal, unless we work together, we will have to regret to our succeeding generation. Therefore, collaborate across borders, seas, and generations, culture, and regions. So it is very important to we cross over all these differences where we are now living. We can create the future we want, one that is anchored in sustainability, inclusion, and empowerment for all people and our planet. And AFES 25, with your active leadership and engagement, we can seize this historic opportunity and help illuminate a path to a vibrant future, one that is sustainable, peaceful, and prosperous for all. Ladies and gentlemen, let us work together. Let us join our hands together. So beyond territorial restrictions, etc., men and women, young and old, unless we join all our hands on the deck together, we'll never be able to achieve our dreams, our visions of SDGs and climate change agreement, human rights, women's rights, let us work together to realize a better world for all of us. That's currently my moral responsibility. But some of you have a political responsibility. But those political and moral responsibility combined, I think we can achieve a better world for all. Thank you for your leadership and attention. Thank you very much.